Good afternoon, everyone. Isn't it grand? Our Harriet came home, and I could not have been more excited to see her. This is a little bit early for her. I think her earliest date since we've had the web camera before was March 28th, and this time she arrived on March 27th. Now, the year before I put the web camera up, I do believe it was Harriet, although I cannot say for sure because we didn't have a web camera, but she arrived on March 26th. And so that is why I asked James last weekend to bring the goose and Mr. Freddie down from the nest. And it seems like we did it just in time, and it took less than a week to go from maintaining the cameras, taking the bird feeders off, putting the goose and Freddie up, and taking him down, and boom, Harriet arrived. You're watching Harriet on her perch last night. I zoomed the camera in because I thought the evening sun was just so beautiful on her feathers. And what a night it was for her, rocking and rolling all night with these incredible winds. But she's been through a lot more than that. But James, why don't you walk us through the last week from maintaining the cameras and kind of walk us through what you did, and putting Freddie and I call her Gabby Goose. I think other people have a different name for her, but that's fine. And kind of walk us through what we did this last week. It kind of seems all of a blur.
Yeah, it was a busy week. We started the week on I guess we started our work portion of it on Friday. We had the lift delivered, and then we were able to get everything prepped and ready to go. We got up there on the nest on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. This was the 20th. And I had Chelsea up there with me. We got Ryan up there, and I had my brother and niece from out of town visiting. So we had them up there. We had quite a work party going on last Saturday. And then we placed Freddie and the goose up there, and then we waited about a week. And on Friday, Ashley and I took Freddie and the goose off the nest. And once you know, the very next day, I think it was like 8:49 or 8:40 in the morning or something like that, Harriet arrived. And that, as you said earlier, that's the closest I think it's ever been for the maintenance work we've done on the nest, and then pulling the goose down and then her arriving. I think last year we pulled the goose down and waited the better part of a week or longer before she finally arrived. So it was an interesting time. So I do have some slides that I'll show just from the nest cleanup, and some videos that we'll go ahead and play. So I'm going to go ahead and roll those now. What we're looking at on the screen right now is as Chelsea and I up at the nest, we removed the bird feeding station that's there during the winter time, and take down the entire perch assembly there and all the ropes and rigging and everything that goes with it. We also go around and we pull out the string and any debris, any artificial stuff that gets into that nest over the winter. And so we pull out more of that, kind of clean things up, make sure everything's really secure. And then Ryan and I went up on the nest and we cleaned the camera up there, and we've got a couple shots of that. Some of these shots are from the Nest cam, and then a couple shots are from the Ranch cam. So there we are cleaning the camera, making sure it's all nice and sharp and getting any dust off of it, and everything should be ship-shape. And then, like I said, we had my brother and niece from out of town, and Kate. We had a full crew up there placing Freddie, and my niece Sydney, she named the goose Flitter Flap. So there's the name that came into play on the 20th, but Mrs. Goose will suffice. That's just fine. We had Freddie and Flitter Flap up on the nest, and everybody was having a great time watching pigs fly on Saturday. And So that's kind of how it went at that point. And then on Friday, Ashley and I went to pull Freddie off the nest. And this is a slide of Freddie and the goose starting to just fall off the nest. And it looks kind of like a bit of a hair-raising experience there. But I've got a short video we'll go ahead and show, and it shows how we brought Freddie down. So I've got a short little 2-minute clip here, and we will go ahead and we're going to roll that now.
All right, so Ashley, are you ready?
I am. Do I need to be in the mare's pen? Like, how far back do I need to be?
No, you're good. I just need to guide it down slowly. So pull it, pull it straight down that way. And I'll hold on to this so it doesn't go too fast here.
Okay, we're gonna get caught on the camera.
Pull it back over your way some more. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Sailing. Freddie is okay so
It
far.
seems so unceremonious, you know?
It does. Yeah, it seems a little bit irreverent. Those guys have done their good job up there.
Sliding a brand new boat off the dock into the water.
Right.
You hope it goes right. All right, slow down, slow down.
It looks like Freddie has come down without incident.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't think we broke anything.
Nope. I want to put Freddie's end down first.
So, let's prop him up here on the fence here. There we go. So we survived. I think everybody's still in one piece. And
3 legs down.
We got it. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks, you guys. Now all we need is Harriet back, and no goose in the next week. You know, I really don't think she'll be back within the next couple of days, but she could be. Like I said, in previous years, one year she did come back as early as the 26th of March. So
wow.
I don't want her to come back and find her home occupied by the goose and Fred.
Yeah, exactly.
Should I untie this one?
Yeah.
I love those slow motion landings. It's a queen's landing for a real queen, our queen. Well, I would love to tell you some stories, but I'm not going to do it by myself. Okay, now in the chat, James put in a phone number. You enter some IDs, and you come up on the Zoom so you can talk with me. And I'm just going to sit here mum until somebody calls in and it can talk with me about Harriet. I know many of you that are on here have been with us for a very long time and also have Harriet stories. So I think it would be way more fun to swap stories than for just me to be talking here by myself. Everyone gets tired of me talking, and most of all me. So come on, you guys. Somebody's got to call in, or I'm going to be mum.
Yeah, it's not too hard to call in and use Zoom. It's pretty easy. You can use your phone number, and you'll be prompted for a meeting ID and a passcode. But you just enter those digits, and then you're in the meeting and you're talking to us live. And I think Paula was on. I know she knows how to use Zoom.
Yeah. And Celia and I love, come on. I know you have lots of good stories. Celia, I love has a better log of all the data relative to Harriet than I do. She's the scribe for the whole operation out here. She does a great job. And both
we've been working on that wildlife log here and trying to get everything sorted out. We've got a couple formatting issues we're working through, but so far we've got the new 2021 log on the Days at Dunrovin website, and it's coming right along here.
Perfect. Yeah, we really want people to keep track. Yeah, we're not going to be doing the Awesome Osprey project this year. I am hopeful to get Michael Academia to check in with us once in a while. He's going to be doing a lot of field work with osprey on the East Coast. So I'm hopeful that he will kind of take us along on some of his osprey work so we can keep track of what he's doing.
Suzanne, did you take any video or capture anything of her late last night with the windstorm at all? Did you go back and review any of that footage?
No, but I bet we can find some. Shall I look and see? Hang in here. But let me just I'll keep this going here, the one that you're watching, and I will let me bring this over here, and I'll find a clip that shows her last night, because she was really a rocking and a rolling last night, I'll say that.
Yeah, Kate and I woke up at about 1 a.m. To some pretty sustained gusty conditions, and I actually pulled out my phone and checked on her. I was like, man, she's going to get blown off the perch here.
Okay, so here we are right around midnight, close to 1. Let's see if we got some.
Yeah, this is exactly when that big burst came through.
Yeah, there she is. She's just hanging on there. And look at the snow's coming.
Yeah, she didn't get any sleep last night. I can assure you of that.
Is everybody seeing what I got on there?
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Boy, she's an incredible bird, you know. How did that happen? Operator error. Look at that. My goodness. Look at it go by her. My goodness.
And you can see how she's pointed into the wind.
Yeah.
Like she's not broadside to it like we've seen her before, but when it got super windy, she just pointed her head right into it.
You know, one year when with her first mate, Ozzy, he was sitting on an egg when wind got really bad, and it flipped him over completely. The wind just flipped him right upside down. Look at that. My goodness, she really hanging on. That's fierce. Nobody's called.
I think the winds got up to they were pushing 40 miles an hour, maybe even more at this point. I mean, it was pretty serious.
Yeah, look at her, just hang right on. Whoops. Boy, when I do that, I mess up. I don't know how I'm doing this. Messing up. But I am. Operator error over on this side of the fence here, James. Nobody's called in, hey?
I haven't seen it, but I posted it over at Days at Dunrovin and also here at MontanaSocials.org. So if there's anybody listening, Paula, Celia, I love, Cascade, Gabby.
Yeah, LL Osprey, give us a call. You can ask questions, and if I don't know, I'll make it up.
Yeah, in some years we've seen several inches of snow build up on the nest as well, right?
Oh, yes. In fact, I remember one year, this again was early on, when Harriet had already laid an egg. And she was on an egg, and this big snowstorm came, and it was so bad and so cold, her eyes froze shut. She had ice coming off of her beak, and you could see where her nostrils were freezing. And then the first year that we had a nightlight, the infrared nightlight, and in the middle of the night, Ozzy came to relieve her. And it was really interesting because when she got up, you could see this big pile of snow, but right where the egg was, it was just all clear. Just nothing had gotten to that egg. And as Celia just put, it was 2013 that year. That was a really good year. We had 3 chicks that year, and they all did great. But we had several snowstorms that spring that she had to sit through, and she had frozen feathers. I mean, this bird is just incredible. I have to say that she's just an inspiration to me because, you know, you can get down about a lot of things, but Harriet, just like you can see her right now last night, she just takes it whatever comes. She just hangs on for dear life and weathers the storm, always. And then when Ozzy was killed in 2014, and, you know, it's the female that migrates first, generally, leaves all of the last bit of fledging to the male. But she realized that Ozzy wasn't around, so she stayed and stayed and stayed and fed her fish. And I remember she brought 2 fish to the nest within, you know, minutes. I mean, she's a fishing fool. This is just a really talented bird, and I just can't tell you how much I admire this bird. She's just a phenomenal bird.
And I was remembering Michael was mentioning something on some of the other nests that the males often arrive first, but here Harriet has always arrived first.
Yes, that's exactly right. It used to be with Ozzy, her first mate, he came closer in time than the mates have been coming since then. Boy, this video here is really pretty spectacular, isn't it? I mean, that was fierce wind last night. But one year, the last year that he was here, I happened to be outside when he arrived. And mated osprey will do a mating dance to one another when they reunite. It's the only time I've ever seen the dance. And what it was is Ozzy would fly way up into the sky, and then he would drop towards the nest, and they chirped to each other the whole time. And then he'd fly right back up, and again he would just drop towards the nest without landing. He did this 3 or 4 times. It was just spectacular. And they were just a phenomenal couple, these two, both really fierce. I have to say, I still miss Ozzy. He was something too.
And we saw last year that Ozzy is on display here in Montana at an exhibit to educate people about the hazards of baling twine in the nest and other debris.
That's exactly right. When he was killed, we knew what had happened. There had been a number of eagle attacks that year, and when we found his body across the river, we got it back, but there was a big cut right underneath his right wing, right where an eagle would have swiped for the fish. Eagles are known for trying to take fish from ospreys. And so I'm sure that's what happened to him. And when I did that, I called Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and they came and got him, or actually I took him over there. And then they raised the money to get him stuffed by a taxidermist in Helena, and I was able to go over there to watch him do that project. It was really interesting. The guy's a phenomenal taxidermist. And they put him on a wall in a place called Montana Wild, which is a Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, kind of a museum and education center. And he is above a nest, and it's indeed, the display is all about how important it is to keep baling twine and fishing line out of ospreys.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any fishing line in our nest lately. We certainly do find the occasional baling twine in there, and I've seen some other plastics in there. Sometimes they'll bring a cellophane bag or something up that's shiny. So it's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out, or sometimes when they empty garbage cans, things blow around and get out of the truck or the can, and so it's always good to make note of things and pick up trash whenever it's around when you see it, and put it in your pocket or carry a bag around.
Absolutely. All of us should be in the habit of picking up twine and fishing line wherever it is. It's really dangerous to birds of all kinds. The animals of all kinds can get caught up in it. Or, the 6-pack plastic things that people throw away. Cut them. Don't, even if you're throwing them in the garbage, cut them so that they can never be, an animal get its neck through it or something. These are things that are really dangerous to wildlife.
Yeah. And LL Osprey is commenting about mask strings and masks ending up being part of it too, and that's true. I've seen a lot of masks on the sidewalks or sides of roads, and definitely a hazard.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I think people are saying when you're finished with your face masks, cut the strings. Even if you're filling them in the garbage, because at the landfills and everything, things can be picked up by birds or whatever. And just try to make it safe for wildlife and birds. Well, James, I really appreciate you. Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of the eagle attack that you had, you and Chelsea are going to be chatting about eagles coming up here at 3 o'clock here in just about 20 minutes. Chelsea's got an eagle presentation, and we do have a lot of eagles around here. In fact, this year we saw a huge number of eagles, it seemed like.
Oh, Celia just posted my video of Ozzy in the wind, and I'm going to bring it up, James, because I sing in it. So I'm going to make people listen to my singing. And I have to say, you can just blame Celia. That's all I'm going to say is blame Celia, because she's the one who makes me do these things. She likes my singing, and I do remember I sang something for Underneath the Nest one time. I don't remember what it was, but I'm sure. Let me see if I can't find my Mariah video.
Well, while you're sorting that out, I'll go ahead and play another clip of Harriet landing here and some of the highlights here. And this happened at 8 a.m., 8:34 a.m. on Saturday. And we took Freddie down at 11:30 the previous day. So that was cutting it pretty close here. All right, Suzanne, you've got your video ready there?
I do.
Great.
And, okay, so everybody has to put up with my singing. And I'm going to blame Celia 100% for this, okay? All right, you can go back to my singing.
Way out west they have a name for rain and wind and fire. The rain is test, the fire's Joe, but they call the wind Mariah. Mariah turns the osprey round and sends the clouds a-flying. Mariah makes the mountains sound like folks were up there dying. Mariah, Mariah, oh, they call the wind Mariah.
That's a very poignant video because that was the year he was killed. And he was a really interesting bird. I'm sure Celia would agree. And he loved sitting on the eggs, and he would fly in and he would try to move Harriet by lifting up her wing. He'd take his beak and he'd lift up her wing and try to push her off. He just loved doing that. Well, this is really fun, everyone. I tell you, it's just a thrill to have her back and to have all of you with me to enjoy and celebrate her and to look forward to a wonderful season. And now we have to go through all the angst of her selecting a mate. Hopefully Swoop or Hal will be back. One of them will come back, and then there's all the angst of the egg laying and the hatching and the whole summer. She just is our queen bee up there, and we just wring our hands until she successfully gets that last chick out the door and in the sky. So thank you for joining us all here. Really appreciate it. And stay tuned. In about 15 minutes, I'll be back on with Chelsea. And she's just been doing a wonderful job with these Raptor Talk programs of hers. And I know that she's got some great information for all of us on both golden and bald eagles. So with that, I'll say goodbye. And thanks, James, again for all of your help.
You're welcome. Yep, we'll be back soon. Goodbye, everybody.